Hey Gemini, how y'all doing? Welcome. We are going to be taking a look at your February through March, your Imbolc general reading here. So really, really positive, I gotta say. Just overall glance, very positive. In your meditation, I saw an image of Thomas the Train. Does anybody remember? It was like a children's book, Thomas the Train, I believe it was called. Let me know in the comments if I am mistaken. But I think that the tagline or the moral of Thomas the Train's story was, "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can." Therefore, he does. And it's about that image of coming up a hill and trusting that you're going to be able to crest it and come out the other side without rolling down backwards in reverse. So I saw Thomas the Train going down this track, this I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And it was almost as if there was this energy of, expecting things to be difficult or expecting there to be like a fork in the road or a dip or something that, bracing itself for. But then I saw the presence of this swan, which is which is the animal energy for Imbolc. So it really feels like you're in a special sort of alignment during this season. So it's a really beautiful sign there for you. Coming up and swimming alongside Thomas the Train. And it's really beautiful because swan energy is underneath the surface. Their legs are moving so quickly. It's such a flurry of movement, but they just seem to glide across the top of the water. So there's a lot going on underneath the surface, but as things appearances sake, they just look like they're just absolutely gliding, having no trouble at all. There's in terms of animal medicine, swan energy is very much about allowing yourself to go with the flow of divine spirit, divine timing, divine direction, divine inspiration, and just trusting so deeply, not only that you're where you're meant to be, but that everything is always going to work out for you, that you're always gonna, end up where you're meant to go, even if there's a detour 2 or 3 or 12 or whatever have you, you're always gonna end up like not just where you're meant to be, but where you're happy to be. And I think that if you look back over your life at those times when there were forks in the road or challenges, I think you can see how, you made it through those times, right? Especially, in those situations where you might have thought like, I don't know how much more I could take this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know if I'm up for this. I don't know if I'm qualified for this or whatever it was, right? But you made it through, and it really feels like this time period for you is going to just move through quite seamlessly. The point is, Thomas the truck, Thomas the train, was trucking along, like waiting for something that never came. It was just a very easy journey forward. He got to where he was going, and it was just so positive that it was like, that was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. That's what this feels like to me. That was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. It's like when you brace yourself, right, before you go to the airport, and you're like, oh God, okay, I got to, do I have everything? This is going to be, I got to go to the airport. I got to go through, but then you just like glide through. There's no lines. You're just like, woo! And then it's like, your plane is lands early because the winds are hitting just right and everything just works out, right? You're upgraded for free. Really, that's what this time period feels like for you, which is really, really, well, quite lucky, quite fortunate. So your animal energy for this time is the hawk. So, this equates beautiful air energy for my air signs here. This is always auspicious. Um, Hawk medicine is very much about perception. It's very much about what you were able to see and also, discern. It's not just about what's happening, it's about what you take from it, right? So this also, relates to the two of wands and the tarot, which is about that foundation, the planning, the attention to detail, about setting yourself up in a way where you're provided for the long term, where you're happy, not just happy where you are, but you have, hope and investment. You've invested in to what is coming next. You've invested into the future. You've invested into your own growth. So this is really, really positive. It's stunning. I also feel like because, Gemini, you guys have a really special way of seeing more than one side to something, right? You're able to see the best possible scenario, but you're also able to see the absolute worst scenario. And it's kind of like you have a way of operating between these two poles in this split vision. And I'm feeling like for you, just the message here is really spirit saying like, you can lean into the best possible scenario here. This is not a time where you need to brace yourself or wait for the other shoe to drop. This really feels like you've got a past during this time that just feels incredibly positive. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. And the more that you're able to do that, right, and lean into the glass being half full as opposed to half empty, you're bracing yourself for something, the more clarity you'll have. It just feels important. The lens of positivity is going to provide the most clarity. So you are coming through as the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, hello. This is good luck. This is the wheel turning in your favor. This is unexpected happy surprises. This is being at the right place at the right time. This is, meeting people or running into people that have the power to change your life for the better, that coming upon circumstances that give you an idea or a shot of inspiration where you're able to make a move that really changes your life for the better, like in your physical circumstances. So this is incredibly positive, Gemini, but I also feel like there's a certain energy here too. These are all the fixed signs of the tarot. Here you've got Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, and Taurus depicted here. And it's interesting how this is coming across because I feel like this wheel for you has been moving at its own kind of like stop and go pace. And now it's like, whoop, like it's really moving now. I really feel like you're going to have several times during this time period where you kind of go like, whoa, this is all really happening. Like, it's like everything is happening at once. Everything is just sort of one after the other. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity coming up for you. And again, the more you're able to lean into the positive, happy and positive expectation, the more clarity you'll have. And thus the ability to not only, receive, but act on these potentials as they arise. So in your place of challenge, fascinating, but it makes a lot of sense, is the Six of Wands. So this is victory. This is going, woo, I did it, and allowing yourself to really feel that surge of joy. I think it's Brene Brown that talks about, I'm going to butcher, so I won't try to like directly quote her here, but it's sort of like the moment of our greatest joy can also be the moment of our greatest pain, because feeling like things are actually going to be great now is actually very vulnerable, because that's when we have the most to lose, right? When we're down on our luck, right? There's not as far down to fall, but when our moment of our greatest joy, that's when, the human mind can go, oh, you're at risk. You could lose this. This could all go away. So the fact that this is your challenge, it just further cements for me that there's going to be a lot to celebrate coming up here, right? But I also feel like there's a public recognition or being in the spotlight or being promoted or being put into a position of higher visibility that comes with the Six of Wands as well. There might be, for some of you, an aspect of maybe shying away from that attention or that spotlight or that elevation in status. You might need to take some time on your own to recharge from that and look at your direct relationship to, what you feel you're worthy of, and your relationship to being seen, and your relationship to having, increased responsibility, or like I said, visibility. There's something in that for a group of you. So in your place of advice, you have the Hanged Man. I gotta tell you, I love when this is the advice whenever I do spread for myself or a client. I love when this is the advice because it's so dang clear. It's really good. This is about flipping your perspective. In order to flip your perspective, you need to, take a time out for a moment and really allow that, consciously engage in that and go, okay, let me take a moment or two or three to consider the other side of something. And as a Gemini, I know you guys are technically the Lover's Key in the tarot, but I really feel like the Hanged Man is very, 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 very much Gemini energy, because you guys are able to just like, boop, flip it around, look at this side, look at that side. And you have a power, an inherent power in your vision and the way that you see things. So this is a really beautiful opportunity, because it is coming up as your advice to really allow those moments of inspiration to really strike and hit you. But I also feel like there's an aspect of this as well where it's like, maybe take the opportunity in the moments as they arise to look at the best possible scenario. Look at the highest and best outcome that could come of these opportunities and changes, because there is going to be changes when Wheel of Fortune is coming through like this, coming your way. Look at the best possible outcome, right? What is that saying where it's like, when someone says like, what's the worst that could happen? And then someone counters with, but what's the best that could happen? What's the best that could happen? That's your advice here with the Hangman. And don't necessarily judge things on their first appearances either. right? Go with your feelings around things as well. Sometimes, things don't always appear in a way or in a time in which we call it like a home run immediately, but go with your feeling around it, right? Also hangman energy. So in your place of victory, you have the Seven of Swords. Now this is fascinating because this speaks of self-sabotage. This speaks of that thief in the middle of the day, right? This is when we go outside of our own best interests, right? But I'm going to tell you what I'm really drawn to is the fact that the thief is carrying 5 swords, 5, number of change, right? And then the 2 in the ground, he's looking back at those. That's 2 of Swords energy, which is about similar to the Hanged Man. It's kind of the minor arcana version of the Hanged Man, in my opinion, where it's about having your head and heart meet up for equal conference and allowing yourself the gift of clarity by allowing your mind to be still and open and within yourself and from a place of, quiet contemplation. There's something here around this victory too, that in doing that, I think that there's going to be a healing of some sort where there's some theme in your life about it could be in the far past, the recent past, or both, but there's something about where there's an aspect of you that kind of expects things where it's like, in order for something to be worth it, it has to be difficult or something along that line, a belief system that's like, well, nothing good happens without something bad happening right out. It's a belief. It's a belief around something that you've acquired either through childhood or in your adulthood through your experiences. But this is about examining those beliefs and then allowing yourself to be wrong about them. Like allowing the universe to prove you wrong, like in the best way possible. And I feel like there's going to be some healing around that, where the best case scenario is going to be proven to you. And I just see you smiling about it, where it's like, wow, I've never been so happy to be wrong in my life, right? It's through that lens of positivity. Now, your outcome here, you got 6 of Wands again. You have it here in your place of challenge. You also have it in your outcome. And I love this for you with the 4 of Cups. Now, this is really fascinating because 4 of Cups is about a certain, it's really what we're talking about, Gemini. It's a certain distrust or even a dissatisfaction of the way or the time in which things manifest. But this for me is speaking of your discernment. There could be a lack of trust or some, looking at your past choices going, ugh, I really made some bad choices there in the past that led me here. Oh God, I don't know if I completely trust my ability to make the best call or choose the right path. There's something about that confidence, but this 6 of Wands is just going, as long as you connect in with what you feel and what you know to be true, come out of your head and into that fiery feeling within you, you are exactly where you're meant to be. Things are not always meant to be difficult. And this is not a time in which they feel difficult. It might just appear that way to you because of what you're bringing to it, right? Again, the more you're able to look at the situation, the opportunities, these changes coming through and for you, because there is some significant dramatic change around this, right? The more you're able to view these things through the lens of positivity, the better it will be. So it just really, really feels like these are a lot of external positive happy changes happening, and you're just being asked to consider your relationship to being able to receive these freely in good faith, and also with that sense of victory and that joy, right? Really fascinating, Gemini. So in your oracle here, you have Casserole. This is your Imbolc oracle number 13. Trust in the flavors that led you here. An unexpected alignment. The Wheel of Fortune. An unexpected alignment. Let it move you in ways that capture your soul. Hello. That really, really could be talking directly about your outcome here, like with the 4 of Cups and 6 of Wands. Trust in the flavors that led you here. An unexpected alignment. Let it move you in ways that capture your soul. The Wands are about your soul. It's about the work that you do that gives you that passion. It's about the relationships about which you're passionate. It's about your purpose, right? Your feelings about this are in the slightly more negative camp than your purpose and your passion are, right? So it's like allowing yourself not to get in your own way is definitely going to be some medicine around this. Now, this oracle, when we think about casserole, at least when I do, it's about comfort. It's comfort food. It's allowing yourself to really dig in and be full and satisfied and really just appreciate the moment and the good meal that's before you, because the eating is good, Gemini. Okay? That's it. Thomas the Train and the Swan and the Positive Lens and the Wheel of Fortune and the Double Six of Wands. The eating is good. The eating is good. So allow yourself to enjoy it. Allow yourself to feast because this is your time to do so. And it's not always going to be that way, right? There's going to be ups and downs, but your Wheel of Fortune is on the rise. So enjoy it. Don't get in your own way about it. It's wonderful. It's wonderful, Gemini. You've earned it. You've earned your due. Embrace it. Enjoy it. Look at the positive. What is the best possible thing that could happen? And there you are. It's really, really beautiful, Gemini. So with that being said, I so hope that this helps and resonates. If so, let me know in the comments below. I love reading your comments. I really, really do. I respond to each and every single one. Give me a like, a subscribe, a follow. I would so appreciate that. With that being said, as always, just thank you so, so much for being here. I so appreciate each and every one of you watching. And most of all, thank you for being you. And be well, Gemini. Until next time.